Hi, and welcome back to episode 2 of my Leafs 2019 franchise mode. After losing in the first round to the Washington Capitals, there's some things to do. Mitch Marner needs an extension. We're going to have $7 million to extend him, unless we make a couple of trades. Looking at, the team and how much money is being given around for next year, Marleau, Hyman, maybe Brown. Those are some big guys that could be traded. In net, Freddie Anderson did terrible playoffs, but I think we're going to keep him anyways. But before we do all that, before we go into the draft, let's go see the trophies. So, of course, the Sharks win the Cup. The Bruins win the President's Trophy. San Jose with the Campbell. Lightning with the Whales. Seguin with the Art and the Hart. Drew Doughty wins the Norris. Seguin wins the Lady Byng. Patterson wins the Calder. Gustav Nyquist wins the Conn Smythe. John Gibson with the Vezina. Frask with the Jennings. Bogosian with the Masterton. McDavid with the Selke. Seguin with the Lindsay. And Seguin with the Maurice Rocket-Richard Trophy. Now, I've gone a couple of ways in thinking about this. I think we are going to be looking to free up cap space to sign Mitch Marner. I don't think we're going to trade him. I think he's going to stay with this team. But I also think we should get another defenseman on our team. With all being said, let's go to the draft. The first overall picks being headed to the Ottawa Senators, then Colorado, then the New Jersey Devils. I'm going to look for some trades and I'll come back to you when I'm done. Alright, so the first trade I have is I have a cap dump trade. We're giving up Patrick Marleau, just making too much money. But we're getting back Jason Pominville, who's on an expiring deal, and we could probably re-sign him. We're also giving up 2 seconds on our end. What do they say? Trade rejected. Now, I've been going through a couple of teams, and I think we might have to buy out Patrick Marleau. Now, this is one of the few teams that want Patrick Marleau, the Edmonton Oilers. I'm asking for Zach Cassidy and a good power forward fourth line guy, and a cap dump in Tobias Reeder. We give them Marleau, we give them our 2 seconds. What do you say? Trade rejected. Even though they want Marleau, that's insane. I think I might have to give up on Marleau. I think we're going to have to buy him out. I'm going to go look for some more trades. One of the players that I'm thinking about trading is, if you look at our cap, I don't know, a player like Zach Hyman, Connor Brown, making a little bit too much, but I think I'll be okay with that. I think I'm going to look around the trade block, see if there are any people on the block. After doing some checks, I don't see anyone or anything to really trade for. I think we just make our selections, we end this draft, and then we go into a restricted free agency. And then we go to free agency. Jack Hughes gets first overall, a good playmaker, going to the Ottawa Senators. We'll sim to our pick, but we'll also go check way up here. Capo Caco taken third, Kirby Doc fifth, Bowen Byram, Moritz Seider, Cole Caulfield, Alex Turcotte, Dylan Cousins, Philip Broberg, Zegras. Pretty good draft class for what ends up happening. Philip Tomasino, a real life prospect. Do we take him or do we go look and we take one of these guys? You know what? I think I'm going to take Philip Tomasino. Why? He's just a real life player. Yeah, top 6. Good guy. Good potential. Soon to our next pick. Matt Sodergaard, another real life player. There's really nothing here. Let's go check potential wise. Yeah, really nothing. You know what? We're gonna take Matt's Sogard. Going into the 5th round pick. I'm just gonna sim these picks. We're not gonna get anyone good. I'll be back after the draft. At the end of the draft, we get 4 real life players. We get Philip Tomasino, Matt Sogard, Cole Schwint, and Alex Protops. But after the draft, we really got nothing too important. I'll come back and I'll show you what we have for a free agency re-sign phase. Alright, so after re-signing and letting go of some people, here are the main people that we kind of need to sign. Marner, Nelson, Andreas Johnsson, Kasperi Kapanen. Looking at this, Marner wants 8 mil. Going down, he doesn't want any more. But we still have to do some buyouts over here. And one of the main buyouts is Patrick Marleau. How much to buy him out? So for the next 2 years, the buyout would cost 2 mil, but we're saving 4 mil. I think they're going to do it. Patrick Marleau, thank you for being on our team. You've been bought out. Nathan Horton, we really don't need him. Making $5 million. 2 years at 1.7. We're going to buy out Nathan Horton too. And our cap space goes up a lot. Now, we can definitely go out and pay Mitch Marner how much money he wants. He wants 7 years at $8 million. I will give him that. 7 years, $8 million. Mitch Marner, what do you say to this contract? Mitch Marner decides to go out and say yes. So we have Mitch Marner on our team. I'm going to go sign, these RFAs. And I'll see you in free agency. All right, here we are. We have hit free agency. The top free agent is Artemi Panarin, Braden Point, Joe Pavelski, Jeff Skinner, Carlson, Thornton, Nyquist. So a pretty good team. If you look at our forward lines, one player I wasn't able to re-sign was Johansson, but we can sign him later. All right, looking at the forward depth, it's going to be Tavares, Marner, Matthews. That's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So maybe a 4th line grinder type player. On defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe a defensive enforcer type. In net, we also do need a backup. So I'm going to get those offers and I'll be right back. Alright, so we're going into day 5. We have who we're signing. We only have $900K in cap space. So everyone had to be 2-way deals. Let's see what happens. Nate Thompson, a good old grinder. He could probably fit on our 4th line, signs. Nick Cousins signs, a good 4th line player. And Nate Prosper, our 6th defenseman. Now, I'm going to try to see if I can find a goalie, see if any goalies realize that they suck and want a 2-way deal. Alright, on July 10th, we have offered our contract to our backup goalie. Let's see if he does sign. Will he sign? Alvarez Merzlikins rejects. Alright, I'm going to go find another one then. After looking at it, we have about 0 cap space. So, Connor Brown, I think we're going to have to let you go, making $2 million. And Andreas Johnsson, I don't think I can sign you. I want to sign you, but I don't think I can. So I'm going to go look, see if I can maybe get a 1st round pick for these guys, and I'll be back with the trade. We have come to find the Oilers. They have their 1st on the block, and they're a hopeful team. So maybe this is going to be a lottery pick. We're giving up a 3rd, Johnson and Brown. What do they say to this deal, Edmonton? They rejected, but I think we can do something here. To that deal we just saw, I'm going to add a 6th and a 7th. What do you say now, Edmonton? Trade rejected. Maybe I have to find someone that wants Connor Brown and Johnson and are hopeful. This will be a task. I'll be back. The Los Angeles Kings want everything we're giving up, and they don't have their first on the block, but maybe they'll give up their first. What do you say to this, Edmonton or LA? No. All right then. Next. We have stumbled along a rebuilder that want Connor Brown, Andreas Janssen. We're giving up our second and our third for their first. What do you say? You sent us multiple players to fill a single need. Damn it. Alright, we're going to keep looking. The Arizona Coyotes have their first on the block. They're a hopeful team. A third, Johnson and Brown. What do you say to this deal, Arizona? No. Alright, what if I add on something like another third? 2/3, Johnson and Brown for your first round pick. That goes through. We have a first. We have another team's first this year, which means we are allowed to trade ours. We also have some cap space, so I'm gonna go sign a goaltender now. I'll be right back. And there we go. We have our backup goalie, Curtis McElhinney. Man won 2 cups for Tampa, I believe, playing as the backup goalie. That's our team, and now we're going in to the regular season. I'll show you the lineups. Here we go, Leafs. So here we are. This is our forward line going into the year. Kadri, Matthews, Marner, Nelson, Tavares, Nylander, Hyman, Cousins, Kapanen, Ennis, Thompson, Baptiste. On defense, Riley, Liljegren, Dermott, Muzzin, Bjorgman, Prosper, and in net, Freddie Anderson and Curtis McElhinney. You know the team. I'll meet you guys at game number 41. Alright, so I might have messed up a little, but we are at the 42 game mark. We are 29-9-4. That's insane. We're first in the division. Everything's looking up. We're one of the best teams. We might even be one of the favorites to win the President's Trophy. Riley's almost a point per game. Tavares, Matthews have been playing great. In net, goalie's playing phenomenal. I'll see you guys at the trade deadline, but I don't know if we're going to make any moves whatsoever. We don't have enough cap space. I guess the one thing I'll go see is anyone who's going to be leaving next year. So someone that could be leaving, someone like Jake Muzzin. We have $8 million. I think we're fine. At the deadline, we are still first in the division. Tavares has been playing great. So is everyone else on the team. I mean, looking at our cap space, we have $3 million to play, so I guess I'll go see someone who's on the block that could be good on our defense. Alright, so I've come up on one deal. Jacob Trouba, expiring, pretty good defenseman, 85 overall. We give them our first and Simeon Durgar-Gachensev. What do they say to this? Rejected. Okay. What if we go on and we add a second round pick next year? What do you say to this now, Edmonton? Not Edmonton, Winnipeg. They don't do this. Alright, there's one other player I'm going to look at, but I think we're a good team anyways. Hello, Detroit. And Mike Green. Expiring deal, 83 overall offensive defenseman. Just a first for Mike Green. What do you say to this? Trade accepted. That's our only acquisition we're going to make. And now, I'll show you the new team. So the only thing I decided to change was defense. We have Mike Green and Muzzin, Dermott and Borgman now playing on those bottom defensive pairings. That's it for our trade deadline. Meet you guys at the end of the season. Alright, so we finished the season with 50 wins. First in the division. What a year by us. Looking at the entire league standings, we were 1 point away from the President's Trophy. We finished third. Philly, Nashville, and us, top 3 teams. Bottom 3 teams go to the Sens, the Canucks, the Kings, But where are the Coyotes? The Coyotes have made the playoffs. That kind of sucks for us. Looking at, our team, Matthews, Riley, 73 points, 36 goals for Matthews and Tavares. Really good year for the team in net. Anderson was all right. Now we go into the league standings. A player by the name of Tyler Seguin. Tyler Seguin does it again. Most goals, Seguin. Most assists, Radulov. Wow. Dallas just heating it up, I guess. On defense, though, we might have a Norris winning player, Morgan Riley. That's insane. Going to goalies, that might be one of the better goaltender year I've ever seen. A 931. Wow, that's insane. 13 shutouts too. I think I know who our Vezina winner is. But we don't really care about that. We care about the playoffs. And who are we facing in the 1920 playoffs? The 2019 playoffs, we are going against the one and only rematch against the Washington Capitals. I guess the one thing you can say is everyone on this team's a little bit older. Their offense is looking a little bit more weak. I think their defense is the exact same, which is a really good defense. And of course, prime Braden Holtby. Here we go. Playoffs again. A rematch against the Caps. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Period number 1. Game number 1. 1-1. Marner, Eller. Period number 2. Data boy. Nate, Thompson, Liljegren, Tavares. We end the game 6-2. Tavares with a hat trick. Nylander with a hat trick of assists. That's a pretty good job for game number 1. Here we are, game number 2. We're down 1, Alex Ovechkin. Game number 2. 1-1, Nazem Kadri. Going into the third, nothing. Here we are, overtime. Evgeny Kuznetsov. Damn, what a game by of Braden Holtby. 1-1 in the series going into Washington. Here we are, game 3. Almost a must-win if we want to get the lead and, pressure them. 0-0. Going into the second. 1-0. Brock Nelson going into the third. 3-0. An insane shutout performance by Frederik Andersen. And we have taken the 2-1 series lead. If you win this game going into Toronto, you're on to the second round. I can bet that for sure. We are. Period number 1. 2-2. Ennis, Cousins, Oshie, Niskanen. Period number 2. 4-3, boys. Come on. Period number 3. Kuznetsov ties it. Going into overtime. And he's done it. Austin Matthews. The Toronto Maple Leafs win game number 4. And are up 3-1 in this series. Will they advance to the second round? For the first time since 2003. What an insane year this has been, finishing 3rd in the entire league. Insane team. Period number 1. 1-1 Kadri Carlson. Period number 2. 2-2 Cousins Ovi. And period number 3. Nothing. Going into another overtime. Come on, boys. Nothing. Overtime 2. They've done it. Timothy Liljegren ends it. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are advancing to round 2. Round 2, and guess who? The Tampa Bay Lightning. An insane team. Let's go see their lineup. Alright, so looking here, one thing, I think they didn't sign Point. They have Palat, Stamkos, Cooch, they have Gord, Killorn. They have a really good team. They have good superstars. On defense, they have one of the best defense in the league. McDonough, Hedman, Sergachev. That's insane. In net, they have Vasi. This will be tough. All right, here we go. Game number 1 in round 2. 0-0. Period number 2. down 2-1. Miller, Janssen, Nelson for us. Period number 3. Can the Leafs make a comeback? They do. John Tavares, and in overtime, it's Noel Baptiste in Toronto. Take game number 1. Here we are. Period number 1. Wow, that was fast. Steven Stamkos. Period number 2. 2-0 Miller. The Leafs can score 2 goals. I know you guys can. How about scoring none? Getting shut out in game 2. Here we are going into Tampa. Here we are. Period number 1. 3-2, an insane performance of goals. Period number 2. 4-2 Leafs. All you need to do is hold the lead to go up 2-1 in the series. They do. What an insane game for players like John Tavares, Riley, and Tyler Ennis. We're up 3-2. We're on the same circumstance. You win this game, then you go into Toronto. I can almost certain your chances to go to the conference finals. Imagine what that'll be like. Here we are. Period number 1. Win this game, then going into Toronto. I don't even have to say anything. Nick Cousins scores early, but Mason does as well. Period number 2. One thing. Come on, boys. Period number 3. The Lightning take. It's 2-2 going into Toronto. Now I'm worried as game number 5 is a must-win for us to go up 3-2 and not have to win 2 games in a row. Come on, boys. The best of 3 series. Period number 1, 1-1. Period number 2, attaboy, 2-1. And period number 3, the Leafs hold the lead. They do. What an insane performance by Freddie Anderson, Nate Thompson with the goal and an assist. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are 1 game away from going to the conference finals. What a sight this would be. In Tampa Bay. Stun them. Period number 1. 1-0. That's a good way to start. Period number 2. 2-2, boys. Going into the 3rd. We lose, and there's a game 7 at hand. Now, I am deeply afraid. Here we go, boys. This is your chance. Game 7. I know we can close it out. I know we can win. Come on. That's not a good way to start. Period number 2. Down 2-1. Come on, boys. Will there be an episode 3? Period number 3. There will. Damn. And on that note, there will be an episode 3. I'll see you in episode 3. Goodbye.